Hello everyone, I am back with part 2 of my DESTASH lots, and I will link part 1 in the description below. Also, if you were interested in getting any of the lots in part 1 or part 2, I just found these vintage stamps, and I plan on putting some of those in each of the lots. So they're not in there yet, but if you are interested, I will probably put several of those in the lots if you purchase them. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And so we'll go ahead and get started. And this lot is going to, kind of has a cowboy theme to it, so we'll just call it the Cowboy lot. And we'll get started with this one. These lots are going to be $18 shipped. And here's some conchos. And I actually started collecting a bunch of this stuff to make kind of a cowboy western journal. So that's what probably a lot of this stuff is. Here's another one of those vintage clocks. And here's a stack of vintage bingo cards. These are great for, well, I guess they're not all bingo cards. I don't know what that is, but there's some other cards in here too. So it's a nice selection, and these are great for junk journals, so you will get that. Here is, I think it's a patch, but I thought that would look cute in some type of journal, so I did keep that, and I'm throwing that in. Here's some seam binding, seam binding. Here's some yellow tags, and I don't believe this has ever been opened. Here is a punch out from a card. Playing card, more seam binding. Here's some really cute, what is that called? Not gingham, I think? No, checkered? Plaid? Plaid. There we go. So this is some vintage fabric plaid ribbon. Here is a little vintage bingo piece. I don't know where that came from, but I'll throw it in. Here we have some vintage, says Rummy playing cards. I remember when I bought these, they were adorable, and I just could not leave them behind. I wanted to use them, and I guess I'm not going to get the chance to do that. So here we have one of the vintage jumbo scrap, cigar scrap bags, and I thought this would go really cute inside of like a cowboy or western journal. So I'm also going to include Midnight Cowboy. So here's a book that you can turn into a journal if you would like. Here we have a bag of miscellaneous lace and ribbon. And, oh, I thought it was scraps, but it's actually, they're not scraps. There's actually quite a bit in here. And I thought I saw, yes, here's some lace, just different colors of red lace and ribbon. And as I said, I thought it was scraps, but it's actually, there's quite a bit in there. Here's some more seam binding. Here's a beautiful piece of ribbon. Here we have some fabric ribbon, and you can see it is in a cowboy theme, which goes perfect with this collection here. Here are some labels. Then I also included some of that red polka dot stationery and envelopes. Here is some vintage magic trick cards. So you will get, I did take some of them out to put into other lots, and then I just threw the rest of them in with this lot. Here are some, I don't know if these are game pieces or what these are, but I just love them when I found them. So I'm throwing those in. I know some people like to use them as embellishments in their scrapbooking or junk journals. Here's another wooden piece. I'll just throw that in. And I will include some of these old vintage stamps. So that is going to be the Cowboy lot. Again, it's going to be $18 shipped. Okay, I still have the lot of black laces, and I think there might be some seam bias tape and things like that. There's quite a bit in here, and so if anyone wants this, I am going to reduce the price on this for $15 shipped. So you can see there's quite a bit in here of all different types. So if you're interested in that one, this will be the black lace lot. And then it does come with, I guess this is an iron-on? Yes. So there is that. This has teddy bears. It's not a teddy bear theme, but the first thing I pulled out was teddy bears, so this can be the teddy bear lot. And with this lot, you will get a package of 20. I don't know if there's 20 in here. I did not count them, but it says there's 20, and I purchased these, I believe, at a sale somewhere, so I'm just guessing there's 20 in there. So they're blank cards and envelopes. Then you will get some of the game pieces or learning pieces. Those are vintage. Here's a stack of the flashcards, the sign language flashcards. Then we have a stack of random flashcards. As I said, most of this stuff is going to be vintage, and I believe everything in this package is vintage, excluding the blank cards, which they could very well be vintage. I don't know. I did not check that. So then you will get a stack of these from the 1970s. Here is a spelling goals book, and let me see if I can find a date. $1960. So here's what this looks like. You can use the pages out of the book. You can use the cover. So that is a nice find. I love looking through those old books like that. Here is the vintage teddy bear wrapping paper. We have some of the vintage newspaper, ruled paper, and there's a little bit of age on there. Here's a package of adorable vintage wrapping paper. This one has not been opened, and I just thought that was so adorable, and I had big plans for that, but it has to move on to someone else. So you will also get one of the vintage cigar cutting bags. Here is the marble mini lunch sack. Here's a vintage greeting card, and it has been written on, but there's still quite a bit of the card that can be used. So it has some nice age on it. And then I included some of the red polka dot stationery with this one. So that is the teddy bear lot. That one will be 18. Moving right along. This is, we'll call this one the Seashell Lot. I believe it has a couple things that pertain to seashells. All right, so we have I'm not sure what these are called. They're dividers, I guess. You can attach them to the edge of paper or something as dividers, I believe is what they are. Here's a package of paper clips, never been opened. Here is a notepad with the magnet on the back, and there's still quite a bit left in there. I believe I used some of these for journaling spots in some journals that I made. So I just glued them to a thicker piece of, I think something like this. I covered it with some scrapbooking paper, and then I glued a piece of this on there, and it just made an adorable little insert for a journal. So you will get a stack of these. Here is another teaching game, and this is vintage as well, so you'll get a stack of those, and these are great. This is 1978. These are also great for making those inserts. Here is a vintage card. Yeah, it looks like it has been signed, but there's still a lettuce leaf diet means nothing to you. So there's still quite a bit left in there to use. Here are some stickers. They kind of go with the circus theme and birthday theme. I believe they kind of match that, so those could be used together. Here are some stickers. I have used some of them, but these have been sitting around, so I'm just going to go ahead and let them go. Then we have some seashell vintage wrapping paper. Here's some, oh, this is wedding wrapping paper, never been opened. Here we have some of the stationery, the red polka dot stationery. These are journaling stickers, I guess. I don't know if they have been used or not. It looks like I probably bought it at a thrift store, and I don't believe I ever opened it, but let me just double check to make sure there's something in here. Yes, it looks like it has never been used. So, or maybe one. Looks like one journaling sticker has been used, but it looks like everything else is there. Then we have a vintage fundamentals of typewriting. I'm not seeing a date right off, but it's probably 40s or 50s, I would guess. So these are a lot of fun to use in junk journals. So there you have that. And then going along with the seashell theme, I have a box of vintage playing cards here, and they do have the seashells on there. So this is going to be the Seashells Lot. Okay, so this will be the flower lot, since we have flower on the top, and it looks like there's some flower themed items in here. So you will get a stack of flashcards. Here we have some paper doilies. I don't know if these are vintage or not, but they're pretty. Here's a little card, or package of those little romance cards. And you will get one of those vintage clocks. Here we have some I think these are originally to snap onto some type of shoes. But I bought some and I used them for flower centers, so you can just pop them off and glue them onto your projects. So here we have the marble mini lunch bag. This is adorable. It's got a lady's dress. I thought that was just adorable. Here are a couple craft paper envelopes. We have an assortment of flashcards. And a package of the blank note cards and envelopes. Then we have a box of gold binder clips, paper clips, and I think those are push pins. So these would go great in journaling or journals and junk journals and things like that. So here is a package of never been opened ribbon. And then we have, I believe this is silk handkerchief, and it has a beautiful image on it. So you will get that. And then we have this larger lunch sack with some pink roses, and then some vintage wrapping paper, never been opened. So this will be the flowers lot. This lot is going to be 22 shipped. And I believe there's just one more lot left here. And this will just be the craft lot. I think most of this stuff in here is new items. I don't believe there's any vintage in here, but I could be wrong. So you'll get these little foil, mini craft sacks is what it's called. So I think I opened the package and used a couple out of it, but I believe the majority of them are still there. You'll get that. Here's some ribbon that has never been used. Here's some more ribbon. We have some heart paper clips. There's some star paper clips. Here we have some ribbon. I believe this has some stretch to it. And there's 2 rolls of that. We have some pom-poms, some adorable little mini sacks. And here is a package of assorted tags. Some confetti if you make those, what are those called? Shaker cards. I believe that's why I purchased this. I wanted to try to make some of those. And of course, it didn't happen. Okay, so we have more paper clips. And some tiny little tags. They're just little bitty. Here we have some, I think these are acrylic, little bows. Here is a package of assorted paper clips, all different. Then it looks like we just have a couple things of glitter, and those I think were also for the shaker cards. So that will be the craft lot, and I believe that will do it. This lot will be 22 shipped. So I will link my email below. This will be PayPal only. If you're interested, send me a message and let me know. Also, I will be throwing in each lot some of these canceled stamps. looks like most of them are dated around early 1900s. I have a 1934, 1923, 1936. So everyone will get several of the canceled old stamps. So if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you so much for watching.